One day turns to night, and the ocean swallows the sun. Slowly, the world we've come to know goes quiet, a moment of rest for most, but an opportunity for me. This server never rests. Day and night, the Zergs attempt to assert their dominance. As for me, I found an opportunity to slip by and go down under, a place I feel slightly safer while looting. There's a lot of risk while running these tunnels, because at any moment someone could pass by like this. After a significant period of time, I found myself in this corner, healing up. Now, let me know, can you see me in the shadows? I can't, but somehow this guy did. My neighborhood seemed to be very congested. Every time I left my base, there was somebody in my sights, and oftentimes they were bringing home loot for the Zerg. And so me, as a solo, I did what I needed to do to preserve my place on the server.
Dude, it's me. What happened?
Cheats.
I went to sleep and woke up to this?
I literally logged on and I saw like just a ton of these guys just building.
Dude, where'd the forest go, bro?
Yeah, dude, they were chopping like crazy. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of them in this group, man. And soon after night fell, I laid down a campfire so I could see, and I started building a loot room on the second floor. When I stepped outside, I could see others in the neighborhood with similar campfires lighting their base, a feeling in Rust that I truly love, a moment when the server thinks the same way, a moment of unity. I hope you know that doesn't work, buddy. Finding the perfect balance of resources and the TC versus resources available for use can be tricky, especially as a solo. So I take my time with this process, alone in my bunker, counting and organizing. One day, I woke up, logged on, and found this. A tree had grown, the first tree I had seen in a long time. Maybe the forest was returning, and I was happy to see that. like I did, on foot to reduce attention and to keep stealthy, a solo like me.
Dude, I'm just looking at my phone.
You caught me off guard.
Hey, I'm gonna pick you. Just, you can keep going if you want.
Alright, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Dick.
See you, bud. Back home, nothing changed. The Zerg was still running wild, and I just kept looting. If you're new to my videos, you might not know this, but I'm a big fan of mixing tables. I tend to use them often, maybe more than most solos. If you're a solo, let me know down in the comments. Do you like using mixing tables? Sometimes you just want to loot in peace, but some players are stranger than others, which leaves you no choice but to do this. And then, randomly, early one morning, I logged on to find that the forest had returned. It felt like I was restarting the wipe. The Zerg seemed to be slightly less toxic, but still wildly active. It took some time to do some PvP and stack up as much as I could. My goal was to get a gun. Any gun would change the wipe for the better. This time around, I was determined to make it to Outpost so that I could research a gun. It was my only choice since I was so far from any monuments. I refilled on coffee to get my mind right, and I tried my best. I watched the players from the distance, and when the coast was clear, I continued. The number of times this happened, and I was able to get away, really blows my mind. Eventually, I did make it to Outpost, and it was exactly as crowded as I expected. The first thing I did was grab some food because I was starving. And then I began to recycle. This was the turning point in the wipe. I was able to buy my first gun. Now, roaming would be a little different. I was used to this process, collecting loot at Outpost and using my shop to bring it home. But for some reason, every time I spawned back at Outpost, someone was waiting. And this happened far too many times. Eventually, I was able to sneak by. After researching as much as I could with my newly collected scrap, I decided to craft a gun and do a bit of roaming. On my first run, this happened. Just like that, I went from a semi-pistol to a rifle. After collecting all the loot, I grabbed some wood and began laying down the idea for the third floor. I kept it twig for now, while I continued farming the roads. Eventually, I had enough scrap to research the SAR. The PvP never stopped. Around every corner, I saw an opportunity. Now that I had a few guns researched, I began taking my shot. Even though the Zerg was driving me crazy by chopping down all the trees, I still found it in me to offer a helping hand. The forest I built in was congested, and the nodes that spawned around were immediately taken. So I decided to spawn out in the snow and do some farming there. Maybe then I'd have a better chance at bringing home some stone, metal, and sulfur. The first thing I did when I returned was fill up my furnaces and kick them on. I needed to keep a constant flow of metal. The server outside was at war. With enough scrap, I was able to research the triangle hatch. And with the triangle hatch and the reinforced window researched, I felt comfortable finishing out the 3rd floor. And from the very top of my base, I was able to stand, overlooking all of the shacks and bases that the Zerg had built. Throughout all this chaos, somehow, I was still here, and I was determined to stay. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to my YouTube members. I'll see you all in the last part of this series. Until then, you've been watching an Orange Dream production.